Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Smart HVAC Marketing Podcast. My name is Eric Thomas, and I am the host of the show. And today we're joined by Alyssa Rogers and Trevor Smith from Rogers Heating and Cooling, located in South Boston, Virginia. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah. So, Alyssa, we'll start with you. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself for our listeners and tell us a little bit more about Rogers?
Sure. Alyssa Rogers. I am the Vice President of Rogers Heating and Cooling. And I actually married into this industry. My husband, Joey Rogers, owns Rogers Heating and Cooling and grew up in the industry his whole life. His dad started the business in 1996 as Rogers Electrical and Air Controls. And Joey grew up holding the flashlight and working beside his dad and loved the HVAC world and decided to go to school for it after graduating high school, and worked in the commercial world for a few years after graduating high school and college, and then decided in 2015 that he wanted to come back to the family business and help his dad out, and came back and knew that there was a need for HVAC in our area and a top quality residential contractor. So he came in 2015. His dad, it was just his dad, a helper, and one person in the office with white vans. And they kind of, did a lot of work in this area, but Joey wanted it to be bigger than it was, and he had aspirations for growing it. So he was alongside his dad for a few years until his dad wanted to pass it over to him in 2018. I joined in 2017 because Joey was looking at different marketing agencies and what he wanted for the company and the brand and what to do. And he brought me some examples. I was working in corporate America and had some marketing positions. And when he showed me what he was coming up with, I knew he needed a lot of help.
Yeah.
So I decided to join in 2017, and we purchased the business in 2018. Our number one priority was changing the entire brand and letting people know about us and getting rid of the white vans. So that is where Rogers Heating and Cooling was born. We changed the name and we wrapped every single vehicle that we had at one time and released it to the community January 1st, 2018.
Wow. So not too long ago.
Right. It's been very, we've seen rapid growth from it in the last time.
Well, we'll definitely touch on that growth that you saw from it. But first, we'll let Trevor introduce himself. Trevor, tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself.
Well, hey, I'm Trevor Smith. I am the marketing specialist here at Rogers Heating and Cooling and Electrical. So I was brought in what was it, April, I believe?
Yes.
So yeah, I was brought in April, and basically my background, I have about 12 years of actual graphic design background, then also with the marketing, digital arts, video, photo, really a little bit of everything. Very blessed to have an opportunity here locally. I'm born and raised in Halifax County, South Boston area. So basically it's really awesome to come into a team environment and have the same ideas bouncing off one another and to really grow a company. So very blessed to be here and have the opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Alyssa, I'd like to talk a little bit first about the growth that you were just speaking about, because I know you were saying there was truly a need in the South Boston area for a top quality, kind of the community leading HVAC business. So out of curiosity, like what's the landscape look like out there as far as the heating and air conditioning industry? Is there a lot of different competitors, or is it kind of small?
Our community has a number of HVAC companies throughout, and there were a few that are the bigger companies that everyone knew about. We were one of them that only had a couple of people working for us. We were unbranded, and no one had the brand awareness that we are trying to create now in the last 3 years. We were the first HVAC company in Halifax County to wrap an entire vehicle and really showcase the brand. And we made sure that all of our employees have the brand, on their uniforms, and everything that they have has the Rogers brand on it. And we were kind of the pioneers of that in this area.
So after you all wrapped your vans, did you notice competitors beginning to do it as well?
Yes, we have had some that have done it, which, it's really cool because it's needed, and that's the way the world is going. So it's kind of cool to know that we started something great for our community.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said that since you all rebranded in 2018, the business has really grown. So not from a financial standpoint so much, but more of like a team standpoint, and just community growth. What did that look like? So how big did you all grow to today?
So in 2018, when we started this journey, we had 5 employees, and we didn't know what was going to happen. And we have now, 3 years later, we're up to 18 employees. So it's grown exponentially. And a lot of that is related to the brand awareness and, the wrapped vans, and then everything that's gone along with that, and really bringing the brand into our culture and marketing into our culture. Every employee that we hire, they know when they come in that we're going to pile up, uniforms and T-shirts and hats and koozies and everything we have that has the brand on it. They know they're going to have pictures taken of them all the time and videos. And we've just really made it a part of our culture here. So all of our employees know that, Rogers is the way to go, and they want to wear it. And if they see something without the brand on there, they're asking why we don't have it on it.
Yeah, that's what they say when it comes to like branding, like branded materials. If it'll stay still for longer than 3 seconds, we can put a logo on it.
Exactly. We put it on everything. Onesies for babies, and absolutely everything.
Yeah. That's awesome. And what was the community response to the rebranding?
Oh, it was great. And because we didn't really have a brand before, everyone looked at it as we were a new company and thought we were just opening. And there was a history there, and we did tell people about the history, but the community loves it. And there are so many people that say they see our vans everywhere all the time, and they just have really grown with us. And we just really appreciate the community allowing us to do what we love and support us in that.
Yeah. And this was something that I was speaking to Matt Michelle from Service Nation about recently, about wrapping vans. When you wrap your van and it's like the full van is wrapped, it's really bold, you got the big logo on it. It's kind of like the yellow car effect. Like if you try to look for a yellow car, you're going to see yellow cars everywhere. If you try to look for a Rogers van, you're probably going to see a Rogers van drive by, because you can't miss it once you see it for the first time. And that's why it's like when people wrap their vans like that, there's so many white vans driving around with, maybe a little sticker on the side with the name. But they just blend in with the crowd and you don't even notice them. But then you get the full wrap vans, it just stands out 10 times more.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So Trevor, while we're still talking about marketing here a little bit, so you're newer to the company just this year. What's been the big focus so far since you started for marketing?
So, of course, not having a marketing specialist before me, Alyssa wore a lot of hats. So, of course, me coming in, it took a lot of pressure off of her. But the biggest project that I would say I'm successful on so far is our website. Basically, when I came in, all we had was a 1-year agreement that was already
done. To have the growth that we've had with never having a website until 2 weeks ago is insane. And it's just not heard of around here. And because there was the business grew so much, I couldn't focus on marketing the way I wanted to. And I wasn't able to do it full time. So we had an agreement for a website. We signed it over a year ago, and that's all. It just stopped there. And so Trevor was really able to come in and take that, and we have a website now.
Yeah, so now the site's up and running, and also kind of taking over a lot of the social media platform and really bulking that up to the community. More of like an entertainment to our customer base, not just strictly promotions and things that you see all the time. But as you can tell, we're a very fun environment here. We like to carry on and joke, but we also like to put a face to our company here. So we'll use our technicians. We're doing a thing now on social media. It's employee spotlight. Basically, that just entails who that employee is and what they enjoy doing. It's not all about work and fun. We just want it to be more personal to our customer base for sure.
Yeah. And that goes a long way too, when the customers feel like they know you personally. They'll still know the company as Rogers, but when they hear someone, I see this happen all the time on Facebook and like private groups. I'm sure you guys have like a South Boston buy, sell, and trade, or South Boston community yard sale on Facebook. And there's always someone on there like, I need an HVAC contractor. And they'll say, call Joey from Rogers, or they'll say, call Mike from Rogers. They'll associate the name too, because they feel like they know the person. And so to highlight them on the Facebook, I think that's a really good idea.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, it's so many different ideas, and it's just been really fun, and a lot of things we've been trying to gather from the beginning, from since I've came on. It's been a fun ride so far. So I'll sit back and enjoy as we keep moving forward and keep pushing forward. So
poor Trevor, we have a lot of ideas here, and so we're always going to Trevor and say, "Hey, what about this? What about this?" And he's always on board.
I love it. Let's do it.
It's so awesome to have someone to be able to go to and put those ideas to life. Yeah,
I was just about to say, like, it's such a good feeling when you have ideas all the time, and then you can actually like have an idea and then actually do it. It's fun. It makes it fun. And before, like you were saying, you weren't able to fully focus on marketing because you were so busy, wearing all these different hats. And we were talking about this before we went live, that Trevor was kind of like the first full-time marketing hire that you all made, and kind of how that's essentially unheard of really in your area, to kind of have that type of person in-house. So let's talk about that. Like, what got you to that point where you felt like, now we can fully hire a marketing person and really execute on all these ideas?
So I always saw the value in marketing. Joey has always seen the value in marketing. And I knew that eventually I wanted to have someone in-house full-time. And we weren't really ready at the time when we met Trevor. So Trevor actually applied for a different position within our company. And when we interviewed him for that position, when he left, I told Joey, I said, that's our marketing person. We have to figure this out. We weren't ready for it. Like, we just have to figure out how to make this happen. Yeah. And so it was so hard to tell Trevor, no, you didn't get this position. We really apologize. Keep applying in the future, because it wasn't quite time to kind of advertise for that position yet and open it up. But about a month later, I said, Joey, we have to hire Trevor. So that's when I reached out to him and I said, look, I have some positions opening up. And I sent him the marketing specialist position, and he was very excited and kind of joined then. But it just kind of happened. And when he came in for that position, not knowing him before, he was a customer of ours before, but didn't really know him. And I just knew. So we had to open it for him.
Yeah. Well, that's good that he was a customer beforehand, so he can attest and truly tell the story of what it's like on the other end of the spectrum.
Yep.
So Joey, was that experience that you had with him, or Trevor? I'm sorry, not Joey. It's your husband's Joey. So Trevor, on on the other end of that, your experience with the company as your HVAC company of choice, did that help in your decision to pursue this opportunity?
100%. From the beginning, that was the whole reason I chose Rogers in the beginning to even do my HVAC service. I got 4 mini splits installed. I live in an older home, so duct work is very difficult because the house is basically on the ground. But having Joey come out and really talk me through it and understand, instead of coming in patching something up, kind of just, hey, I'm in and out. Joey really took the time with me to explain the issues. And of course, once, I had always seen the rebrand of Rogers coming around. And of course, me being a marketing guru, I always was very fond of the color scheme and the logo and everything. And so once I kind of saw the momentum growing with the company, I wanted to be a part of it. Whatever I had to do, I definitely wanted to be a part of it. So now I'm here.
We're so excited about it. And, like you were saying, it is unheard of in this area. And it's just, and it's hard. Marketing is hard. Trevor and I were talking earlier about it's just ever changing, and what we're working on and he's working on this year, he's going to be working on something totally different next year because it's always changing. So to have that person in-house to grow with us and stay on top of what's going on in the marketing world it's just, been revolutionary for Rogers Heating and Cooling.
Yeah. I'm like super, kind of giddy about branding right now because I attended a branding workshop yesterday. It was from noon until about 4:00. So it was like 4 hours of nothing but branding. And I left there just like fired up. I was like, I got to get back home and like start working on this right now. So like really, and it was crazy to me because, our company works with HVAC companies. So I always thought that like our brand persona and like our ideal customer was HVAC companies. But there's so much more to it than that when it comes to branding. So for Rogers, like what does the brand persona really look like, and who is your ideal customer or client?
Yeah, I'll let you take it.
So I would say, sorry, you were breaking up there.
Sorry.
So I'd say like our ideal client base is, so the persona that I'm trying to basically, produce is I want us to be the local heroes of our community. We want, to be dependable, affordable, and nothing but top quality. And our service techs, our office staff, anybody that you could ask, we're 100% satisfaction. Whatever we have to do to get the job done right, that's what we want to push out to our customer base.
Yeah. And so how are you, I know you said you're using social media to kind of show off the team a little more and show off kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff. What are some of the ideas that you guys may have had recently to help communicate this vision?
I would say basically, social media is such a huge deal right now. I'm sure everyone would agree.
Yeah.
But when it comes, we like to kind of get more involved with the community, aspects, doing more outreach. We did a big race the other week. We set up a booth and basically gave away a Yeti cooler, and people came up and entered to win. Gave out a ton of koozies for the race and different things. South Boston's known for our racing. So,
really?
Yeah, it's a big popular short track here, and there's a big 4th of July, July 3rd race. And we market it towards that race for our client base. And we have like a 10-foot tall heat pump that we have set up and focused on we have a custom pop-up canopy tent, tablecloth, all that good stuff. So, like I said, when we carry the brand, we do it right. And like Joey's motto, what is it? Do it right the first time, every time?
Yes, we do it the right way the first time, every time.
That's it. So
that's awesome.
It goes all the way through the marketing aspect as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like you guys could totally use the race scene, like the whole like race car stuff for marketing. Like you could,
Oh,
You,
the
you
race
all,
car, we had a driver, and we wrapped the entire race car, so it looked
yeah.
just like our van.
So you all are doing that now?
We did for that race.
For that particular
Yes.
race.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like sponsoring a car would be pretty cool because then it like becomes the Rogers car, you know?
Yeah.
Like back in the day in NASCAR, I mean, everyone obviously knew Tony Stewart, but it was like Tony Stewart, the Home Depot
Yeah.
driver. Like he drove for Home Depot, bright orange car. Everybody knew that it was Tony Stewart in the Home Depot car. So like that could be pretty cool. And that's cool that you all did that.
It was really cool to see, and we made it an employee event too. So we rented out a suite at the track, and we had our entire team there. And it's just really cool to have our entire team there and watching a Rogers Heating and Cooling car go around the track. It's pretty cool.
That is really cool. So on the flip side of, the good side of branding, Alyssa, what have been some of the challenges that have come along with the growth over the past 4 or 5 years?
Oh, I mean, of course, there have been many challenges, and it's just keeping up with the growth, I would say. I mean, we're not going to stop marketing. We don't stop anything. We don't slow down in the slow months or slow down in the busy months because we're busy. We keep it consistent year round. And with that, we're seeing growth all the time, year round. And so keeping up with that is probably the most challenging part, in making sure that we have the correct number of staff to handle the growth and to not overwhelm the ones that we have, and just staying on top of what's going on. And Trevor has really helped with that because he can really keep an eye on what's going on in the marketing world and stay up to date on it so we don't fall behind, because we always want to be one step ahead of the competition.
Yeah. And so and I'm sure that South Boston is similar in a way to Chesapeake, we're kind of in the same region, if you will. So I assume that you all probably get all 4 seasons there as well. Probably get pretty nice fall and a decent winter that gets pretty cold for about a month. So when you're doing that marketing efforts, because like obviously everyone knows summertime, like right about now, it's blistering hot. People's AC is going out left and right. So people are running crazy right now. When you market all year round, is it the consistent effort, or do you ramp it up and then ramp it down at certain periods?
We like to keep it consistent. We like it ramped up all the time around here. We're always looking to add more to our marketing strategy and brand awareness at all times, all year.
Yeah. So how do you go about, like, if you get a lot of influx of business, plus like, obviously there's been some problems lately with like finding help, like labor and equipment and all this other stuff. So how do you keep up with the things that you can't really control, while also maintaining a full schedule?
We will do whatever it takes to make sure that the customer is taken care of. We have had some issues with equipment shortages, but we continue to. We have 2 people in the office that I swear are on the phone all day long just tracking equipment during these shortages and making sure that the customers are communicated with the entire time. So I'd say we prosper when things are really stressful around here. We all buckle down and make sure that things are taken care of. Customers are always first and they're taken care of. And we just do whatever it takes to take care of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. You do it right the first time. Was that right? Was I off there?
Do it the right way the first time, every time.
Do it the right way the first time, every time. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. That's going to be the title of this episode. Do it the right way the first time, every time.
Yeah. I like it. Everyone in the company knows that. So we preach that on a daily basis.
That, it's a forgotten thing too, that like, if you don't remind yourself of that every time, it'll be easy to think like, oh, I got to go home after this, or I got this after this, or I got to go do this. And you're going to start cutting corners. And when you cut corners, then you get callbacks. And when you get callbacks, you get bad Google reviews. And when you get bad Google reviews, then people don't want to call you at all. And so there's just such a trickle down ripple effect that happens from the quality of your work the first time you go out there. But even, on the other side of the work, there's the customer service experience, because getting a properly installed HVAC system from you would produce the same result as the properly installed HVAC system from your competitor. But what you all can offer that they can't is an experience for that customer. And so my next question will be really for either of you. How do you differentiate yourselves from a customer experience standpoint in your market?
We always go above and beyond from the time we walk in the house. We also just hired a comfort advisor this year, and he goes to the house and really sits down with the customers and goes over every option that we have for them and tries to best suit their needs. And our service technicians, they care so much. And I can honestly say every employee we have cares, and they care about the customers, they care about the company itself, and will always go above and beyond. Our guys, if they finish a job early, they're calling the other crews to see if they need help. They're not just going home at the end of the day. And once they finish their job, they're coming together and helping each other every single day. And no matter the hour, we are also a 24/7 service company. So customers can call us at any time, any day, and they will get an answer, and it'll be someone in our office. So we have on-call rotations. So it's not a call center. They talk to us directly, and we'll go out at 1:00 in the morning and service their heat pumps so they don't have to be hot all night. And it just, we just always put the customer first, and the communication is a big deal, and knowing that they can call the office and get answers, or, talk to Joey directly if that's what they want to do, and go over options with him. And we just are always looking for ways to let them know how much we appreciate them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Trevor, since starting with Rogers, what's been the biggest thing you've learned about the HVAC industry?
Well, it could be crazy at times. I've learned that. But I'll be honest, with the marketing aspect of it, it's unique, it's different, and it can be a whirlwind sometimes of, which area we need to kind of focus in on. But my biggest standout from me coming on board here is teamwork. And I cannot repeat that as many times. I mean, that is our number one. I've noticed throughout all of our service, when it comes to sales or marketing, or, even Joey, he's not one to just go hide in his office. He's out here talking to us. How is your morning? How's your day going? What can I do? And to me, that's really what makes this company great. Yeah.
That sounds like a great social media post there, even just showing off the teamwork that you all have, and let the community see that you all are, more than just coworkers, you're a family.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I usually do HVAC trivia. I don't know if y'all knew that, but we're kind of running low on time. So I'm going to give you the option. If you want to do the trivia section, you can. If not, we'll move on to our closing thoughts.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not good at HVAC trivia.
I don't know. Yeah, it's okay to skip that.
All right. We'll let you off the hook this time.
Next time.
Yeah, that's right. Next time, which will be maybe sometime in the winter, we'll come back and talk about the cold season.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll have to get that on the books. So closing thoughts, Alyssa. A lot of our listeners are, smaller contractors, maybe one-man show, 1 to 2 man shows. What's some advice that you would give them if they were considering doubling down and just trying to grow their business?
There is a bright side. You can get so caught up in the trenches and the day-to-day operations that you can't see the big picture. And there is a big picture, and it is okay to ask for help, and it is okay to hire help. Although you think that, you're the only one that can do certain tasks and that you do it best. Trust other people and bring them in. Even if you think you're not ready for it, bring them in and you're going to grow every single time, and put the right people in the right positions.
That's right. You need the right people in the right position, doing the right thing.
Yes.
That's all. People like Trevor, for example.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So Trevor, I'll ask you the same question, maybe from a marketing aspect standpoint. What's some advice you would give somebody for marketing their business?
My tip would be hit it from all angles. There's never a wrong way to do anything. There's never a right way to do everything. We like to throw the whole book at it. That's kind of what I always say. There's not really a wrong way, whether it's billboards or whether it's social media. From a marketing aspect, I think never giving up and finding your niche is the most important part. Find out what works for you and what you're trying to reach to your customer base. And ours is working out. We're community heroes, and that's what we want to stick with. So, but yeah, that would be my opinion.
That's awesome. Well, Alyssa, Trevor, thank you all so much for joining me on this podcast. We release them every Tuesday and Thursday. And so if you're listening live, this episode will probably be released probably towards the end of the month. We've got a pretty full book right now. And if you're listening to this on the podcast later on in the month, know that you can come listen to it live on Facebook and YouTube and get first dibs on the content as well. So thank you all again for joining me. This has been a great conversation, and I've really enjoyed talking to you all about your business.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Well, you all have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye.